What's the funniest way you've outsmarted a teacher? My history teacher, Mr. Davis, was obsessed with his no phones policy. He'd make anyone caught with a phone stand in front of class and read their last 5 text messages aloud. Pure humiliation. Mr. Davis was one of those teachers who thought fear was the best motivator. Silver-haired, with perpetually narrowed eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses, he patrolled the aisles like a prison guard, always on high alert for the glow of a screen. In my day, he'd lecture, we memorized information. We didn't have Google in our pockets. One Monday morning, he announced a pop quiz on obscure historical dates that nobody remembered. Tomorrow, he said with a smile, we'll see who's been paying attention. As he passed out the study guide with dates spanning from ancient Mesopotamia to the Napoleon era, I noticed him smirking at our panicked faces. The guide included events I'd never even heard mentioned in class, but I'd been preparing for something like this. Earlier that semester, after watching a 90s spy movie, I'd ordered an old-school Casio calculator watch from a thrift store online. It looked straight out of 1985, chunky plastic, tiny buttons, and a screen barely larger than a postage stamp. That night, while my classmates frantically crammed, I spent 3 hours meticulously programming historical dates into my watch's memory. The Casio only stored numbers, so I had to get creative. The signing of the Magna Carta in 1215 became equation 12 plus 15. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 became 1453. I created a system where I could recall any date from a simple code. When quiz day arrived, Mr. Davis handed out papers with a sadistic gleam in his eye. Phones in the basket at the front, he announced, placing a plastic container on his desk. Everyone groaned, dropping their lifelines as they walked in. The quiz was brutal. 20 questions on random historical events with zero context. When was the Treaty of Westphalia signed? What year did Magellan's expedition complete its circumnavigation? Questions designed to make us fail. When I casually checked my watch for the 3rd time, flipping through stored equations, Mr. Davis's head snapped up like a bloodhound catching a scent. He slowly rose from his desk, eyes locked on my wrist. Well, 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 he announced to the class, his voice dripping with satisfaction. Looks like someone thinks they're clever. The room went silent. 26 faces turned to watch as he stomped over, triumph in his eyes. He grabbed my wrist and yanked it upward, clearly expecting to find a smartwatch or mini phone. His face fell when he saw the chunky plastic Casio. He squinted at it suspiciously, turning my wrist different angles as if waiting for it to transform. It's just a calculator watch, Mr. Davis, I said innocently, heart hammering in my chest. My grandpa gave it to me before he passed, said it was cutting edge when he was my age. The class giggled nervously. Mr. Davis frowned, clearly disappointed his big gotcha moment was fizzling out. He pressed a few random buttons on the watch, accidentally triggering the calculator mode. The small screen lit up with numbers. See? Just a calculator, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Unless you think I'm cheating on history with math? A few students laughed. Mr. Davis's face reddened. Well, these watches can do all sorts of things these days, he muttered, still suspicious. This one's from 1986, sir, I replied. It can tell time and add numbers. That's about it. He finally dropped my wrist with a dismissive grunt. Finish your quiz, he said. And that's a weird fashion choice. He walked back to his desk, shoulders slumped in defeat. I finished my quiz with perfect answers while my classmates struggled. When grades came back the following week, I'd scored 100% while the class average was 43%. Mr. Davis called me to his desk after class. How did you know the exact year of the defenestration of Prague? He demanded. We barely covered that. I just tapped my watch and smiled. Good memory, I guess. His eyes narrowed, but he couldn't prove anything. For the rest of the semester, he glared at my watch during every test but never banded.